Thank you for joining us on the channel. Today we would like to show you a few watches from our current stock. You might have seen some on social media already. Some will just be posted very soon. Let's start with this Rolex Day-Date 1803. It's a very early example from 1963. It's in beautiful condition and it features that very powerful claw dial. Claw dial indexes are a little bit pointy and faceted to the inside, have a very beautiful optical effect. Also the hands are sword hands were matching this watch, the dial. Now another thing you'll see here is the bracelet. It's a very beautiful original and I believe unsized Milanese bracelet. They also call them mesh bracelets. Super nice to wear. I believe they haven't done many of these, and due to the reason that some of them are a little bit fragile, they haven't survived without cracks today. This one is in absolute immaculate condition. And having said that, this is also one of those Milanese bracelets that are not so delicate to wear. I don't think it's a daily, but you can wear this without usually having any hesitations that you can break it. Very nice example. Check it out on the website. Tell us what you like, how you like it. Now this is a Cartier Reverso. Some of you might think, Cartier Reverso. Yes, so the original Reverso of course is coming from Jaeger-LeCoultre. Jaeger-LeCoultre from the 30s was initially a watch that was made for polo players because you can flip the watch over to protect it from being damaged on the front side of the dial. Now Cartier has in the 60s and 70s done a few models as a Reverso. It's called Cartier Tank Reverso. It has a very nice squarish shape. I would say this is a tank where among Cartier people you will say if you know you know, because it looks like a classic tank until you go and flip the case. This one is made in yellow gold. They also came in white gold, very rare and expensive. You also see a very few of them with two dials on the front and on the back. Usually there's two colors, either it's champagne and black or champagne and white or white and black. I believe those are the rarest among the Cartier Reversos. This one is in beautiful condition from the 1970s. It features all the hallmarks that you need to see to say that this is in good condition. The numbers are legible in the case back. Hallmarks on the case back are also very nice. And I would actually, this is a watch I would maybe wear upside down. I think it's a cool charm to have something like a almost concealed dial that people then realize what it is actually. On the original buckle with a original Cartier strap, the cabochon is in beautiful condition. The dial is white Roman with the iconic rail track. I think it's a very cool example, and the dial is also in very good condition. Most of these have been crazing over the years and have visible lines all over. Let's get to one of my favorite Datejusts. This is the Buckley Datejust. Those who don't know what the Buckley Datejust is, John Buckley, a very good friend of ours, he's a resident with his company on 47th Street in New York in the jewelry district. The dials were, I believe, called after him because he had an influence in putting them on the market. A lot of them are coming from him and they're now all over. It's a very interesting and very popular dial. Distinct characteristic of this dial is that the Roman numerals are painted on the dial. So these are not applied Roman numerals, they're painted and they're almost like blown up Roman numerals, having a good size. When these are painted in white, they usually also come in white hands, like on this one. There's a few examples also which have white dials, means that the Roman numerals have been printed in black and the hands will be black. Guys, these hands usually when a watch is sent to service are replaced with regular hands. This one is in original configuration, but it's a very cool example because this used to be a blue dial and the blue dial has turned beautifully to a purple hue, like a noticeable purple hue on the dial. Very nice condition. This is a 16014, by the way, means stainless steel. You have a quick set date and you have a white gold bezel. Very beautiful example. It's on the website. Go check it out and request some photos of this watch in real lighting. This is really a wow watch. We have here something for the ladies. So this is a 6917 Oyster Perpetual date, automatic in 26 millimeters. It has two things that we liked a lot about this watch and why we bought this watch. First of all, the bracelet is a two-tone oyster bracelet, which is actually expandable. Very cool. Rolex didn't make that many of these bracelets, and not many of these have survived, because if the watch is worn on a daily basis, you could see the springs becoming loose after a while, and there's not many people who can repair this. The bracelet is in absolute nice and tight condition. It's also pretty long for a lady. Now the dial also bears something very interesting. So the markers, the hour markers, which are baton markers, on the surface it actually has a red brownish color like the oxblood stella, and we believe that the markers have been painted with the same lacquer or a similar lacquer that was used for stella dials. A very nice optical effect. It almost looks like the markers are like little ruby baguettes. Very cool example, something for ladies, something you don't see very often, and very nice condition. Check it out. Let's go further. The next one. We have here a Cellini. Now, a few years back, I would say 5-6 years back, if you told anyone that you have Cellinis or just mentioned Cellini, a lot of people said, oh, that's not a real Rolex because it doesn't have that oyster shape, it doesn't have the iconic shape. This is a really cool watch that today, I would say since a couple of years, people are paying more and more attention to it. There's many Cellinis, there's uncountable configurations in round cases, square shapes, rectangular shapes. This is a beautiful example in white gold. It has this is, I believe, the large jumbo size of this rectangular Cellini. Very nice brushed surface finishing on the dial, on the sides. The watch is, by the way, I would say I'm not exaggerating if I say it's in close to new condition. The crown is original, and the dial is super cool. The dial is a blue metallic dial that in some lighting looks black, and then you get into the sunlight or a little bit more lighting and it has that nice shimmer with the very prominent white print and matching white hands. This one is on a original Rolex strap, still with the original Rolex buckle. As I said, this watch is in close to new condition. The hallmark on the side is super deep, and the case back sticker is still on there. Guys, Cellinis are really interesting watches. I think you should look into it. They're also available at very nice prices. I don't think they have really taken off yet. Very interesting to consider. This is a very cool watch. Now, I can look at the buckle, and the buckle has a Corum key, the key logo, but on the dial it says Cartier. So what does that mean? So in the old days, there was a phenomenon that I don't see today anymore, which is that retailers, like watch brands themselves, are retailing watches from other brands. So this is the watch, actually, this is a Corum watch that was retailed by Cartier, which means you don't really find this case shape any in the regular Cartier catalog. It's not really a watch that is made by Cartier, but that's something that Cartier found appropriate to put their name on the dial, which means they stand behind the watch. Very nice, ladies, I would say, cocktail style watch with a yellow gold mesh bracelet that has over time patinaed to a very nice rosy hue. The dial is very cool. So this is a tiger eye dial with a very nice pattern on it, a very distinct pattern. Usually what you see is that the patterns of the tiger eye dials are horizontal. This one has a very nice, beautiful, I would say, vertical stripe throughout the dial, together with the Dauphine hands. Very cool watch. This is something you don't really see out there. Look at it. Back to men's watches. We have here a Rolex 6694 manual winding, 34mm in stainless steel. Guys, the 6426, the 6694, the manual winding watches from the era were known as workhorses, and Rolex advertised with, you only have to service them every 10 years. that says something about the quality of the manufacturing of the movement. This one has something very, very special. This dial is actually Tiffany & Co. double stamped. Means that this Rolex watch was retailed by Tiffany & Co. There was a collaboration they had that every watch that Tiffany was retailing for Rolex, they were authorized to put their name on the dial. This one very distinct at 6 o'clock. So the dial was also specially made for this collaboration. Why is that? It is because usually at the 6 o'clock position on an automatic watch, you have the chronometer certification. On a manual winding watch, you would have something like precision. So that caption is not there. Instead of that, you have the Tiffany & Co. stamp, which is applied in the Tiffany & Co. workshops. I think this is a very cool watch, something that has a little bit more profound. They call it also extra sauce. Very, very cool watch. That little watch with, I would say, the extra sauce. Very cool. It's here on an earlier band, which still fits very well. The watch doesn't show much in stretch. Very cool example, manual winding. One of my first watches ever was a manual winding 34 millimeters, and I really enjoyed it. Let's look at this absolute fantastic Patek Philippe watch. It is not possible to explain this watch without speaking about the iconic 96. Reference 96 was launched in the early 70s and early 30s and made for almost 50 years. It's known for its distinct Bauhaus style design. The case is 31 millimeters and it came in different dial configuration. It's known for the wide locks, the flat bezel. So this watch in my hand here, it's actually the modern iteration of a 96. This is the 3796 in white gold, bearing the exact same case dimensions, the same case design. I think this is a very, very interesting watch because it's difficult today to find 96 examples in nice, good, original condition over the last 60, 70 years. I mean, these have been restored and a lot of them have been restored. It's tough to find original examples in good condition. This is your modern 96, a very, very interesting model. It has a small second at 6 o'clock, Dauphine hands, and the iconic markers that you also find on the 96. This watch is from the 90s in white gold, has a original Patek Philippe strap, the original buckle, and we are waiting for the extract. It will be delivered together with the watch. So this is it for today. We're going to do that more often because we actually have a lot of inventory here that we can't always show only on social media. We're going to do these videos. If you like anything, usually the watches have been listed on the website. If not, then it's going to be very quickly after the video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe the channel. See you next time.